Right, I need to make a phone call to the council. I feel very unsafe here. Very, very, very unsafe. Well, like I don't already. The landlady has turned up here. She's actually assaulted me. She put her hand on my chest and pushed me. This is an 85-year-old who's laughing at me, telling me to shut up, telling me to sue her. Her son, without wanting to seem rude, he seems a bit, I'm sorry to say, but simple. Don't you talk about my mother like that. And I was saying to him, I can see you've got a conscience. I can see the distress in your eyes. You've done this to someone else, haven't you? You've seen this happen before. I said, you don't like your mother. Oh, because she was saying, oh, you've called me a cow. I said, I haven't called you anything. I've said, I haven't name called. I've said you're vindictive and a nasty, calculating. And she lost a niece to suicide. And this 79-year-old man, she's saying that the maintenance man had a mental breakdown because of me. I don't think so somehow. He told me he was going to quit. He was going to tell Victoria. Yes, because he's a boy who's being told to do. Anyway, they know about my YouTube channel because Milestone let them know, which is interesting because I didn't let the Milestone group, unless they saw my Facebook post. I'm distressed right now. I've got to call the police, but the reason I had a feeling it sounded like Victoria, but that was a fast flight from Malta to this property, wasn't it? And instead of speaking to me about the rent, because I'm about to ring Monique from the council, instead of I'm not sleeping and I'm feeling suicidal because of her, and she's calling paramedics. And now she's laughing at me and she's just assaulted me. So this is all because a 79-year-old man doesn't like to be politely asked to wipe up after himself. So it's unbelievable that they get to this age and are they happy to leave this world? Like that, well, anyway. But, you know, he's even telling her where to forward the lady from room 2, where to forward her post. Does he own the property? You know, why is he suddenly in charge of everything that, you know, it's discrimination. Now, if Darren, the property manager, left because of me, well, that's interesting because he and Victoria breached my rights under the Equality Act. Now, this boy was doing what this old man, this dirty old man tenant, and this landlady were telling him to do. That's exploitation. That's taking advantage. She even said to me, sue me. She really does not care. Her son was practically in tears. You're causing me distress. What, by telling you the truth about your mother? I said, you've got a conscience. I can see it in your eyes. What, your mother has done this to other people. You're causing me distress by telling him the truth. That lady in room 2 seemed quite nervous. Victoria hung up on me and my partner. I'm sorry, that was an accident. Well, maybe it was. I don't think it was. Because she'd told me to shut up even then. And I'd never even met the woman. This is someone who fixed the hot water and the heat. Anyway, we are dealing with nasty people who, because I've called them out, and I'm now going to make a public phone call to Monique. And if she doesn't like being recorded, tough, sunshine. Because you opened my case and then you closed it. My housing benefit. I overheard Victoria talking about my private business with this dirty old man if I don't get a payment by tomorrow, and if you can get evidence that she has been causing a disruption, leaving a polite notice on the board saying, please, can you wipe up? She even thanked me for buying toilet brushes and cleaning equipment. Her property... Yeah, I'm not even going to... My days of working with a nasty, vile matron and wiping bottoms ended over 2 decades ago. I needed help with my mental health. I lost my mother to cancer. I was exploited by a social worker landlord. Now I'm being bullied and exploited by a dirty old man who can't wipe up after himself, and a woman who used to be a matron. So I'm glad they all know about my YouTube channel. I'm glad they do. I was hoping word would spread somehow. I'm looking quite pale right now because I'm struggling to function. These people could actually, the milestone group and this landlady could be the last people to finish me off. Have I got a little bit of fight left in me? Let's see. Excuse me while I just ring. I've decided to report the assault first.
To Sussex Police. If you require an alternative force, press #.
So I think it would be better to do that first while it's still, you know.
Thank you for calling Sussex Police. I'm Chief Constable Joe Shiner. I want us to deal with your inquiry as quickly as possible. If your call is about you or someone you know experiencing a mental health crisis, please hang up and dial 111 and press option 2, where you will be able to
be joining the campaigners up in London on the streets.
Did you know you can report crime online at sussex.police.uk, which is quick and easy to use. You can report non-urgent incidents, including crimes such as road traffic incidents, and you can also request or provide an update on an ongoing matter. If you are unable to report online...
I'm just going to pause this while they go through this guff.
Sussex Police is your triage. How can I help?
Hello there. I don't know whether to report this crime as part of another reference that I have or separately, because it's to do with the same person who attempted to commit a criminal offence on me, which was to change the locks. This is the landlady. She's assaulted me. So I don't know if I should put it down as part of that reference or...
Okay. Yeah, okay. Let me get you through to speak to somebody in the contact centre, okay? And they'll take down the details.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank
All right,
you.
thank you.
Sussex Police, good morning.
Hello there. I don't know whether to report this assault separately or as part of a reference to do with the same person.
Has a new
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear that. I'm sorry.
Sorry, it's quite a bad line. Has a new incident happened?
Yes, it has today.
Reporting something new. Okay, we'll do a new report then. We can always link it if it's the same person so that we know it's happened before for you.
It's interlinked, yes. Thank you.
Okay, let's just get some details before we start the report, please. Who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to Bryony McCarthy, please.
Bryony McCarthy. What's your postcode, Bryony?
The landlady turned up here today and she's a nasty piece of work. She actually assaulted me, and I said to her, could you please take your hand off. Oh, well, common assault. She put her hand on my chest and pushed me.
She pushed
Yeah, but it's obviously it needs to be reported. It doesn't matter how. She's already attempted an illegal eviction on me. She is a nasty. Despite her age, she has proven herself to be a very, very nasty, vindictive, laughing at me. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Yes. It was just it wasn't full force, but it was a push. Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying that's assault. Okay.
Yeah, it needs to be reported. I'm not. I was standing in the doorway. I had the door open. Her son was outside, and I was speaking to him about, well, just saying, I can see you've got a conscience. Has she done this to other vulnerable people? And then she came along and she said, it's a shame I wasn't recording any of this, because she said, close the door or I'll turn the heating off. I don't want the cold air getting out. I said, this is someone who was telling me to shut up, go away, laughing at me, sue me. So I just,
Is she trying to evict you?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. She tried to illegally evict me last Monday. She didn't send me an official Section 8, which is on the government website. I'm about to ring Monique from the council to let her know about this. The milestone, so it's all. I'd only been here a few weeks. She's in cahoots with this nasty tenant who's been a troublemaker. She actually said that the maintenance man had a breakdown and left. Oh, because of me. But then she also said that the woman in room 2 who was already leaving when I moved out because of me. There's been a lot of bullying.
Okay. So what you were reporting this morning, Brian, is that she assaulted you by putting her hands on you and pushing you?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Is any of this recorded or witnessed or anything?
Unfortunately, no.
It tends not to be, doesn't it?
Yes, that's always the case, isn't it? And unfortunately, I don't have a smartphone. I only have a laptop and a cheap old phone, because I don't want a smartphone.
No, absolutely. And was that because you were in the doorway? Do you think she pushed you because you were in the doorway?
No, she just came up to me and she said, close the door. I don't want the heat. If you don't, she's just being pathetic. I'll turn the heating off if you don't close the door. I said, I'm speaking to your son.
And did she push you after that comment? Was it because you had the door open?
Yeah, because I had the door open. I was speaking to her son. I will turn the heating off. I pay the rent here. I pay for this. I said, you have just assaulted me. I said, could you just mind your own business, because I'm speaking to your son and you have just assaulted me. You've told me to shut up and go away. I'm now speaking to your son and you are assaulting me. So I tell you what, in the space of just a few weeks, once again, I never known so much pathetic, demented behaviour. She and the maintenance man, who she claims left having had a nervous breakdown, they breached my rights under the Equality Act over making a complaint over a faulty. Well, I'm dealing with someone who is. I feel unsafe in the property. An ex-police officer tried to commit a criminal offence by trying to change the locks. And the Milestone group found it funny. It's all on YouTube. They're laughing down the phone at me. None of this has been done officially. I'm suicidal because of her. She calls paramedics and then tells the paramedics that I'm dangerous. It's pathetic. It's pathetic.
What do you want me to do with this report about the assault?
I'm not
sure. Do you want me to just log it? Or I mean, it is going to be difficult proving that she did this, but...
No, I know.
If she assaulted you...
I can't prove it.
The right thing by recording it.
I cannot prove it at all. It's just my word, but I need to obviously log it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's such a shame I don't have the equipment to record all of what just happened.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have to, should you?
No, I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe in my own home anymore.
Is she trying to evict you still? Because I noticed you called about that.
Well, I'm struggling. I can't sleep at night at all. I still don't know how my father died 2 years ago. I've got to go to Barwell's to find out. And this is,
Right.
yeah, and you know, to do this, you know, the tenant that she's in cahoots with has been behaving like we're talking about a 79-year-old and an 85-year-old behaving worse than the nasty bullies in a playground. He's telling me that he lost a daughter, she lost a niece to suicide, and they get to this time of their life and they're behaving like this towards a vulnerable adult. I've never known so much demented for a long time.
What abilities do you have, Bryony?
Sorry.
You said you're a vulnerable.
Yes. Yeah, yes, I don't have family. She wanted to fight. She tried to. She claims to have been an ex-matron. She tried to get information about me. She was going to help me write a book about my. I know what the social services are like. She fixed the hot water and the heating. When I first moved in here, it was -3. I was shivering in bed. I'm so sorry about that. If there's anything I can do for you, yeah, you're giving it all of that. Then she and the maintenance man, who's left because of a so-called mental breakdown, and she's blaming that on me because she was telling this boy, who I believe was probably under her thumb, to collectively, she, the troublemaker tenant, and this maintenance man were trying to make out that I broke the washing machine by deep cleaning it with Dr. Beckham. Yeah, you couldn't make this stuff up. And I even emailed her articles online that say we should run it empty. But she texted me to say I damaged it by running it empty, which is what they say you should do. And I showed her online evidence that say we should run our washing machines empty to prolong the life. But this is what we're dealing with. And under the Equality Act, according to Shelter, that is a breach of.
You're going to go find some shelter, are you?
Well, it's near impossible to get through. So it was a miracle that I managed to get through to their live chat the other day. But if I hadn't been in the property on Monday, they would have illegally evicted me, leaving me once again to wander the streets in my nightwear. Pardon me.
Complete this report, Bryony. Could I take your date of birth, please?
Yeah, sure. If you knew what they did to me on my birthday last year, what the police did to me after taking my home of 4 months, I'm trying to. Yeah, well,
Let me just take your email address, please, Bryony.
It's Aunt Princess. It's very important that you know this because this time last year, I had a flat of 4 months in supported accommodation. This is why I'm going to join campaigners up in London. I had a flat of 4 months that the police beat me out of, and the care coordinator said I could have it for as long as I needed it. I got news that my father died 2 years ago. I still haven't found out from Barwell's how he died. That flat was taken from me, and I was beaten and assaulted so badly by the police on Beachy Head, our world-famous suicide spot. I took photographs of the bruises caused by the police. On that same YouTube channel, I've got evidence of licensees attacking me, criminal licensees, and the police did nothing. Now I've got this going on where a landlady has tried to illegally evict me with the use of an ex-police officer, and it's on YouTube. And I'm telling you now, my body cannot physically or mentally take any more of this. This harassment.
I'm sorry you're struggling, Bryony. I will absolutely record this for you.
Yes.
Okay?
Thank
I'm
you.
going to text you the reference number for this call so you've got it.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
I'll do it right now for you. Okay, will you try to look after yourself, okay?
Thank you. You'll text me the reference. Okay, all right.
Yes, I will, absolutely. I'll do that now. Thank you very much.
All right, thank
Bye.
you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Maybe she didn't want to be on YouTube. I know, I'm aware I look very pale, but I'm not sleeping at night. I'm close to collapsing. My body, physically and mentally, cannot take any more of this. I can't. It's amazing that there are people who are happy to leave this world. And there's clearly this landlady, if she at the age of 85, she's a tough, she was nasty. She's not frail and old. My partner actually thought she sounded like she was in her 60s. Age is obviously age. It's not about age. I mean, my mother would be 86, but by golly, this is... I mean, I was bullied by an elderly matron, and my late mother... I was hiding in the car. I was 19, and I was hiding in the car like this, and I was saying, "Oh, Mum, I can't deal with her. I'll go and deal with her," because my mother was no nonsense. That vile elderly matron died of cancer, and I know you shouldn't speak ill of the dead, but when they say why do bad things only happen to good people? Well, some people bring it on themselves. Sorry, but I'm having a rant. It's my channel. Shalom. And since Victoria's son knows about this channel, I'm asking you, this is to Victoria's son, I don't know his name. Your mother, you didn't see what your mother did. She assaulted, hang on a minute. Hello?
Bryony, so sorry, it's the police. We just spoke a few moments ago.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, the one thing I didn't get from you is the name of the landlady, just so it's all recorded properly for you.
Sure. I don't. I've forgotten.
Have it.
I know her first name is Victoria.
Victoria?
In the email that I've got an email where she's. Hang on a minute. Let me see if I can just.
Sorry.
Excuse me. I don't. I mean, she flew from Malta very quickly, just to, not even to speak to me about this, to resolve this, to speak to this troublemaker about my private, because I'm going to ring Monique from the council about this afterwards.
Keep up with the council and with shelter if they're helping you as well.
Well, I recorded my phone call with Monique yesterday. Sorry, I just try and find an email from her.
Just was going to make sure we logged it on the files for you. So
I'm so disgusted with. Oh, she sent me a new email, Shevik Products.
Oh, is there a surname on that? We can take that from.
Good morning, Bryony. I will be in the UK tomorrow and would like to have a talk. Perhaps we could meet if you feel up to it. Yeah. Well, so she can bully and assault me physically and mentally.
Did she give a surname on that?
Not in this email. This was sent on the 8th of March at 9:03. You may prefer to talk on the phone, in which case let me know in good time. Regards, Victoria. That doesn't have her surname. I'm just looking.
Okay, I'll just make a look that she was called Victoria.
Oh, yes, Scott. Right. Sorry, I've got her surname. Victoria Scott.
Oh, yeah, brilliant.
Scott.
So I missed that. Victoria Scott.
Well, so that she could tell me to shut up, and
Sorry, Victoria Scott, is that right?
Sorry, yes. Sorry.
Yeah, Victoria Scott. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure I got that.
Okay. I just... Wow.
Okay, just wanted to make sure we've got that logged. So thanks very much. Sorry to have bothered you again.
No, that's fine. Thank you. Bye. Thank you. She actually sent me an email saying, if I've only just received it because I'm not sleeping at night. It was sent on Friday the 8th. I'm trying to keep up to date with everything, and it's exhausting when the criminal cartel, the mafia, are basically working against you. But that was her idea of having a meeting. You know what? After that interaction and her physical and mental assault on me, it makes me truly, truly wonder. Because it does make you question it. When she said that she lost a niece to suicide and don't let it gnaw. She was sending me text messages. Don't let it gnaw away at your sanity. Let's sort this out. You don't want to end up in the mental health unit. And I said to her, I've been in there. That's where I met John Alexander Patterson. The people's hero who was exposing fraud, theft, money laundering, and NHS baby organ harvesting. They are not places of wellness, Victoria. No, people like you are dangerous. You're an ex-matron. I dread to think what kind of bedside manner you had. But on a serious note, because this is serious, your son, because I could see in his eyes the same look I have seen from certain, not all, but some paramedics and police officers and people who work with the vulnerable. I could see the look in his eyes of distress, a conscience, something that was saying, I don't like this. Something about my mother is not right. And that's why he said to me, you're causing me distress, because he didn't like hearing the truth. In the same way this dirty old man didn't like to be politely asked, could you please wipe up the toilet bowl and not leave urine and poo? And that is someone who told me they've lost their daughter. Would his daughter be proud of him for behaving like this towards a vulnerable woman who's lost their father and doesn't know how he died, and I've got to go to Barwell's to find out? I have got to go to Barwell's to find out how my father died, but I was beaten out of the police from a so-called supported accommodation flat. And this landlady is trying to pretend to be the saviour in her deluded mind. I'll get you into a women's refuge. I'll do this. I'll do that. Shut up. Shut up. That's how she spoke to me. Yes. You really wouldn't want her by your bed, would you? It makes me wonder now how many psychopaths work in the hospitals, and praise Yahweh. Praise Yahweh that my mother died in a hospice and not in an NHS hospital. Not that that's of any greater condolence, because there really are some... I'm going to try and hold it together right now, and I'm going to ring Monique. I can't believe the stories though, the Jackanory.
Available 24/7 to resolve many of your queries. Alternatively, please listen carefully to the following options that have...
Well, as Mike Taranga, the late Mike Taranga said, there are a lot of nasty people in this world, deceiving people and making themselves look like angels of light. And Abba Yahweh, all these, because I've got something to say about the people who stole that man's farm Runnymede Council in Surrey, where the Magna Carta was signed. Oh, those criminals, those judges, those councillors, they will all stand, those evil individuals will stand naked before the great white throne of judgment. And they'll be cowering before Yahweh. This suffering is not in vain.
No digit has been selected. To make a payment, please press 1. Hello, I'm Liz, your digital assistant. Please state your inquiry as a short question or sentence. Example, how do I join my local library? If I can't...
No, my partner just tried to ring me. No, it's more important that I ring the council. Backwards and forwards.
Please on homes. We should know about all our services and our online contact forms. To make a payment, please press 1. To sign up or renew your garden waste service, please press 2. The street reports as the digit selected was invalid. Please try again.
In case you want to see it again, Victoria and her son.
To sign up or renew your garden waste service.
Is it upsetting you, knowing the truth that you committed a crime?
Garden waste, please press 3. If you are a council tenant and have a rent query, please press 4.
Do you know what? She's angry because she thought she had a vulnerable woman who would just do as I would just jump and do as I'm told, just like the maintenance man who left and had a mental breakdown because of them. Do you know what? Even if he is still in contact with this troublemaker, Darren, you've committed an offence under the Equality Act. And would you really want to be in touch with someone who has coerced you to do that while your wife is pregnant? Yeah. You want to be an example to your 3-year-old. Sickening.
Find an immediate answer. I'll find someone to help. Please ask your question now.
I'm only saying this because you all seem to know about my YouTube channel because Milestone Group told you, allegedly.
I'm looking for an answer. Just a moment, please.
Good.
I wasn't able to find a good answer for that. Before I transfer you, tell me more about your inquiry today.
I need to speak to someone. I'm going to put this on pause.
So someone can help you. Please wait a moment.
Okay.
You waited whilst we are busy assisting other callers. Many inquiries can be answered by visiting our website at lewis-eastbourne.gov.uk. Alternatively, please continue to hold and your call will be answered by the next available advisor.
It's interesting. She's saying she didn't get an email from the landlady. Said she didn't get an email from Dion downstairs. But Dion told me that last night that she was going to forward her photographs of brown stuff on the sink. So I don't know. I can't say whether Dion's telling me the truth or not, but Hey ho. But she's not moving out. Because the landlady said these two people were moving out because of me. They're not. The woman in room 2 was she seemed like, as my partner said, very nervous. I hardly said a word to her. She was already moving out when I moved in. He said to me he hates Dion. Now, Dion said to me, you know how I feel about him, he's a creep. I even said to Victoria, I said, you realise that he referred to her as Cocoa Pop? She said, oh, don't say that. You know, she's an actress. She's full of theatre. This 85-year-old landlady. And I'm not going to tell Dion that because I don't feel comfortable telling a black person that they've been referred to as Cocoa Pop. But I did tell Dion that he said to me he hates her while he was causing these problems, and she said he's a creep. So he has been... From the moment I moved in, all this weird behaviour... and I thought I'd moved into a nice house with a nice old man where it's peaceful and quiet, a nice landlady who was going to help me write a book. I thought that's what I'd moved into. All I can say is I'm still alive for a reason. Abba Yahweh, Elohim, is teaching me. He's teaching me. I've got to try and hold it together as much as I can. I'm just waiting for the council to pick up so I can report this. So I'm going to put this on pause because there's a really bad line. The phone cuts out. It's horrendous. Before I forget, Victoria, the landlady, she did something else. When I was trying to speak to her and Mr. Troublemaker, because they were blanking me, doing exactly what the same police thugs did to me in A&E when they were assaulting me physically and verbally and injuring me, which led to me having an X-ray. They were blanking, when they continue talking and imagine that, as if you're not there. They carry on talking as if you're not there. And then when she doesn't like what I say, she suddenly went like this. Stop! And I just thought, I didn't react. That's what we're dealing with here. So, this is my advice to anyone who's in my position dealing with these sociopaths, narcissists, psychopaths. I've actually hurt my hand doing that. But it was that loud, and she did it in my face. That's what you're dealing with. Victoria Scott, the landlady. Yes, an 85-year-old landlady. Very, very nasty. But to behave like this when you've lost a niece to suicide. Really? And you're behaving like this towards someone else who's vulnerable? It's a little bit questionable, isn't it? This is why they don't like me, because I'm doing what the Bible says. Ephesians 5:11. Have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of evil, rather expose them. And under common law of the land, she's just about committed every crime there is.
Good morning.
Hello. Hello there. I really need to speak to Monique Prescott, please. Something very traumatic has just happened. She's dealing with... I've been assaulted by the landlady today. Yeah. And I've just reported that to the police. She attempted to illegally evict me last Monday. I'm trying to hold it together. Yeah.
All right, I'll do that. What's your name first before I pass you through?
Sure. It's Bryony McCarthy. Thank you.
Okay, bear with me.
Unfortunately, I don't have evidence of her assaulting me or recording any of the.
Well, you wouldn't, would you? 'Cause you're not expecting to.
No. But it's a shame that. But if I had a smartphone, I would do that. One of those iPhone things. I've got a laptop, but I don't have a smartphone, and yet she's been speaking to this troublemaker, saying, because what I didn't realise she'd come out. I've never met the woman before. She's come over from Malta, and I didn't get her email till just now, saying that she was coming over on Friday. She sent it, and she's this troublemaker saying, "Can we get evidence that she's been causing some sort of a, it's just unbelievable, all of this. It's unbelievable." The maintenance man committed, collectively, the three of them collectively breached my human rights, my rights under the Equality Act, under victimisation, when it comes to making a complaint about the property. And she's saying that he had the maintenance man had a breakdown because of me. Oh yes, everything's because of me. She's saying, she's full of children, story time with Victoria Scott. This is an 85-year-old and a 79-year-old man who doesn't like to be politely asked. He's a dirty old man. He very politely asks. It's none of my business about his personal hygiene issues, but this is someone who doesn't take any care of their personal hygiene, let's just say, and just leaves urine and feces around the toilet bowl. I asked very politely, it's been I found it on the floor. I found it on a hand wash bottle. I want those days over with. And my days of being a carer and wiping people's bottoms and being bullied by a matron should be over with. But this woman, history is repeating itself. I had this over 20 years ago, and now I just cannot believe how this. Sue me, laughing at me. She even clapped her hands in my face. I've never just I can't. This is someone who said they were going to help me write a book. They knew what the social services were like, saying they're full of, pardon my language, her words, bollocks, which I agree with her. She lost a niece to suicide. She's been making me feel suicidal, then calling the paramedics and saying that they don't feel safe with me. But, I've got evidence of criminal licensees attacking me in council accommodation, and police did nothing. But I've been assaulted, beaten and injured by the police, myself as a vulnerable adult. And I honestly now, my body cannot physically or mentally take any more. I cannot take any more. So,
Okay, look, I'm going to transfer you through to that team now, okay?
All right, thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, my lovely.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you for that. Thank you. She sounds genuine.
Sorry to keep you waiting whilst we are busy assisting other callers. Many inquiries can be answered by visiting our website at lewis-eastbourne.gov.uk. Alternatively,
you just never know, do you? I'm being tested. I have to turn the light off because it's too bright. I'll relax for just 5 minutes without being physically and mentally attacked by an 85-year-old landlady who finds this funny and a 79-year-old man. I've had this all my life. And I'm kind of happy because this is happening to me for a reason. And I said to them, I feel sorry for you. Because my partner is saying to me what I feel. You know, we could die any second. We could die any minute. And I'm fine with that. Because as Jeanette Archer said, you know, when you've spent your life being afraid of death, no longer afraid of death. When you've been tortured by people mentally or physically your whole life, you know, my conscience is clear. Can you imagine how unhappy they must be? She's laughing at me. When that old man opened the door to me when I was being shown around by the Milestone group, by Callum, who hung up on me, because it's all about money, let's face it. They only care about money. He looked like he'd been crying. He looked like someone had upset him or something. I'm not just saying that. I could be wrong. But he was like wiping tears. But if you've lost a daughter and this is how you treat someone. But he had nothing to say. Absolutely nothing. The pair of them. They should marry each other. I think Victoria should marry Terry. Terry is the old man, the troublemaker here. I thought I'd moved into a nice quiet house. But it's very frightening when you see what is going on in this country. Very frightening. I was so angry last night. I watched the first 5 minutes of the interview of that farmer who housed homeless families on his land, and the council stole his land. He was so distressed at one point he was going to blow himself up. He's 74 now, and this was 6 years ago. Greedy, criminal, councillors, judges, property developers, they stole his land. Crimes that are going on in this country. But it costs £15 million a day to put up illegal boat people in luxury hotels. And our people are dying on the streets, literally dying, because of corrupt councils. In London, the streets are paved with mattresses and tents. Oh, you really do not want to stand before the great white throne of judgment. When you die, we will all face. Oh, bring it on, bring it on. You've got to humble yourself. You've got to say, I am a filthy, dirty sinner. I am nothing. That's what you've got to do. And Yeshua, please forgive me. Do you know what? When she emailed me and she said, are you a Jehovah's Witness? I thought, really? Woman of Yahweh? No. I'm not part of that satanic cult. It's my partner who brought me to the Hebrew Aramaic scriptures. Sometimes I've wondered, with all this demented psychopathy, is my partner behind it? Why has all of this happened to me since I've been with him? But then, even if my partner, let's just say, for argument's sake, my partner was bad-mouthing me, being a sociopath and all this sort of thing, even if he was, these people are still responsible for their own actions. Do you see where I'm going with this? So I've had a lot of time with all this critical thinking. I have to say, Victoria, the landlady, she's got to be possibly the most vindictive, malicious, psychopathic individual I've met to date, because of how deceptive she's been. And it's based on how deceptive she has been. A wolf in sheep's clothing. And she will heavily face the great white throne of judgment. I don't care what happens on this earth. I don't care what she does to me or what I do to her on this earth in a court of law. I care about the final judgment. It's that one. Because eternity is a long time to spend weeping and gnashing of teeth. Many will go to our Saviour and say, Lord, Lord, did I not do your works? And bloody blah blah. I'm no good at quoting scripture because I haven't actually read the Bible. And he will say, depart from me, you evildoers of iniquity, for I never knew you. And he will be saying that to people who think they've been doing his work. So many will be deceived in these last days. Hallelujah, Yahweh. I'm still here. I'm still fighting. I don't care what anyone thinks. You've got to care. My partner says to me, do not be afraid of those who can destroy the body but do no more. Yes, Darren. I'm still waiting to be put through to Monique Prescott. I'm just texting my partner and I can't believe what I'm texting her. It's like being in someone else's deluded story time. You know, it's like being in Jack and Ori story time with Monique. It's like story time with the landlady, Victoria Scott. She's deluded. And I can't believe what I'm texting my partner right now. She said Darren, the maintenance man, who's also called Darren, had a mental breakdown because of me. Of course. Of course, you know, as the police say, I'm so dangerous. No, I'm so dangerous because I speak the truth, mate. She said Darren had a mental breakdown because of me, of course. And I... Do you know what? I've just got to stop giving a damn about... I've got to think of myself. I've got to think of number one. When I first moved in here, I said, oh, it's so quiet and nice. I feel I've got to be as quiet as a church mouse. And she said, oh, no, you don't need to worry about that. He was saying, make as much noise as you like. Now, of course, I wouldn't do that. But then he started making up stories. You slammed the door at 2. I heard the door slam at 2 o'clock in the morning. If the door slammed at 2 o'clock, in the morning, I would be the first to jump out of my skin because I suffer with PTSD. Because if you look on my channel, you will see that I was assaulted to the point where I thought I'd be killed by criminal licensees. Not that she cares, though, no. People, you have got to fight. Anyone out there who's vulnerable, who's watching me, please, in the name of Abba Yahweh, please do not allow anyone to take advantage of you. Be extremely wary. If there's anyone out there watching my videos who's been through or going through this sort of thing, and trust in Abba Yahweh and trust in Yeshua, because you are protected by his blood. I'm protected by the Eviction Act 1977, as my partner just texted me, but I am also protected by the blood of Yeshua. That's why I haven't ended up on the streets, on drugs, which is what they want. I'm just a number to these people. They want money. Money will destroy them. Man can't live by bread alone. That's what Yeshua said. Our Saviour, Yeshua, otherwise known as Jesus Christ. We don't use that Hellenized language. We use his proper Hebrew name. Right, I'm just going to put this on pause because this is going to be... I'm still waiting to speak to... Sorry, I just put cream on my mouth because I've got a sore there. Sorry. Yeah, very glamorous. I'm still waiting to be put through to this lady at the council who's meant to have set up the housing benefit for this place. I'm just so... It's physically sickening. I do feel physically... Well, like I said many times on my YouTube channel, I've said I was bullied so badly by an elderly matron that I was physically sick on my first day of work in the next care home I went to in Seaford. And you know, I've got stories about Sussex Partnership. I was so badly bullied and assaulted on the ward at Sussex Partnership that one of the nurses, Lisette at Eastbourne Psychiatric Unit, she said to me about the matron that bullied me at Clifton House. She said, "Oh, I heard she could be a bitch. I used to do cleaning there." That same matron also bullied my sister, who's transgender. And my sister has worked for St Mary's House as a support worker. My sister, I don't know if she sued them or not. I'd have to ask her. But she was bullied very badly when she did one of the... I've got so much admiration for my sister for caring for people with... what's the PC word? They don't say mentally handicapped anymore, do they? Like people with such severe needs that some of them are violent. And this very, very large woman that she was caring for, who was known to be a risk to the carers, almost knocked my sister unconscious, and she was treated very badly by the social services. I don't know if she sued them or whatever, but or got damages or what the process is, but she was treated horrendously. So those of us that work hard in the care, I can imagine Victoria Scott being a matron. She was a matron of somewhere in Sussex, I don't know, and I really couldn't care less. But I can actually imagine her bullying people like me under her, because the bullying in these institutions is rife. It is rife through and through. I'm just saying, it wouldn't surprise me. And why would you be surprised if I say, you know, I wonder, you say you lost a niece to suicide. You've been making me feel suicidal. Is this a deflection tactic? I just can't understand how anyone can behave. It's totally beyond me. It's beyond my comprehension. It really is beyond my comprehension. And I was pretty certain one time he was listening, you know, you just know, when people are behaving. Even as I said, if one of the tenants here has said, oh yeah, he can be a creep, it's creepy behaviour. It's so creepy. I mean, it's you got to laugh about it, because if you don't, you will go mad. But the fact that he said to me, the troublemaker and tenant, he said, didn't you say this is when he was acting all weird and then apologising. Didn't you say you had a bird table or something? And I knew, because I already had that red flag. I don't have a bird table. I've got a bird feeding station. But you know what? He remembered it. Because he's like a little boy with a firework. A 79-year-old man who's gone through his whole life. Boy cry wolf. This is how they get their attention. They never grow up. They never grow up. I sound like Dr. Romany. I can psychoanalyse someone like that. Boom, on the spot. Just like that. Because they're giving it away. Because I remember what he said when he said, oh, we get seagulls out there. There's never ever been one seagull out there on the patio. But I knew what he would do if I said, oh yes, I do have a bird table. Victoria, Jackanory, she's got a bird table. There are seagulls outside. There are... He is... I think she just sees him as easy. She's, they can wrap each other around each other's little fingers and woe betide them, because when I leave here, who's going to put up with what I've been putting up with? Not someone that perhaps is quite as polite as I am. This is how narcissists give themselves terminal illnesses, because they'll see what they can get away with. They'll see how much they can exploit a vulnerable person, and when it all blows up in their face and they continue with this, that's their death, not mine. It's just taking a while to get through. I'm going to put this on pause. I've got a crime reference number. I've been waiting 50 minutes to speak to someone. So I'm just going to put this on pause. If the phone cuts out, then I'll have to start again, because it's a really... My conversation with Monique and this other person, this man with a woman's name, it was all crackly and oh god. Oh, it's all too much. It really is. Anyway, don't you think though that as a vulnerable female, I'm doing pardon my language, but a bloody good job dealing with all of this on my own. And those who just say, oh, you're resilient, I've had public servants say most people would have given up a long time ago, Bryony, and we'd be more angry than you. And those public servants, that was years ago that someone said that to me. That was about 5 or 6 years ago that a PCSO said that. I'm still here. They're saying most people would have given up a long time ago, and that was about 5 or 6 years ago. The power of prayer. But you have got to admit that you are a sinner, because every single one of us is a dirty, lying, filthy sinner before the court of the SHAMAYIM, which is the Hebrew word for heaven. And every single one of us will face that final judgment, and we'll have to give an account of our life. I'm just going to put this on hold, on pause. Right, I just went to get a cup of tea, and guess what? This has happened so many times. It's interesting because a lot of operatives in the council, people from BHT, because I have got endless phone recordings on my laptop, on my dictaphone, you name it. And even Brighton Housing Trust, people have said to me, does this happen to you a lot, where the phone cuts out? Now, I don't know who it is or what it is. I don't even know if I am, as Ray Savage said, targeted by the 77 Brigade the way he is. This is the ex-police sergeant and speaker at a conference who's got a mutual friend. He said, we're being targeted by the 77 Brigade. Now, I don't know. I can't be sure of that. Or if that mad woman said, the one who turned mad, in the comments, saying that I am the victim of a global Masonic network operating in Kent and Sussex, because it's quite believable. But yeah, so basically they were about to put me through. After 50 minutes of waiting, phone call cuts out. Bit weird, isn't it? Literally at the point where the phone starts ringing and it's about to transfer me, boom, cuts out. It's just weird, isn't it? But hey ho, there is a very poor reception, and I'll just have to go through all of that again. So I'll put it on pause and we'll see where we get.
Information about all our services and our online. To make a payment, please press 1. To sign up or renew your garden waste service, please press 2. For street reports, pest control and waste services, including refuse, recycling and garden waste, please press 3. If you are a council tenant and have a rent query, please press 4.
Hello, I'm Ellis.
Right, you didn't get any of that. The phone cut out when I was speaking to someone called Sophie from Eastbourne Borough Council. I thought I was filming it. I wasn't. But that was very odd. She said we've been having problems on the phone lines. But the phone cut out when I was speaking to Sophie from Eastbourne Borough Council. So this is all very bizarre, because after 50 minutes of waiting to be put through to Monique, the phone cut out. So it's very odd, isn't it?
To make a payment.
Hello, I'm Ellis, your digital assistant. Please state your inquiry as a short question or sentence. For example, will I join my local library? If I can't find an immediate answer, I'll find someone to help
I want to speak to someone. Come on.
Before I transfer you, tell me more about your inquiry.
Come on, come on. I just want to speak to someone. I hate these automated things.
I'm transferring your call so someone can help you. Please wait a moment.
Right, here we go again. Oh.
We are sorry to keep you waiting whilst we are busy assisting other callers.
Right.
Many inquiries can be answered by visiting
I'm going to
our
put this
website
on
at
pause and
lewis-hyphen
remember to unpause it.
Alternatively,
Because
please continue to hold and your call will be answered by the
it's
visitor.
Sophie, sorry. I was speaking to Sophie and the phone cut out. God. Right, I don't know if my video picked up on this, but because I feel like I'm going to be driven up the wall.
Good afternoon, you're through to Jan. How can I help you?
Sorry, did you say Jane?
Jan.
Jan, oh sorry. Thank you. I was just speaking to, oh, this is so frustrating. I was just speaking to someone called Sophie and the phone cut out. Sophie, yes. And prior to that, I waited 50 minutes after speaking to a call handler to be put through, and then the phone cut out. You know, oh, it's just,
I'm really sorry to hear that. I do apologise. I can understand that.
Oh no, it's not your fault. Thank you. It's, so if the phone cuts out again, is it? Are you able?
Let me take your number now, and if it cuts out, I'll call you back.
Thank you. I appreciate
The
that.
number ending 587.
Yes, please. Thank you.
So how can I help you?
Right. Without sort of going into all of it again, I've been. I keep asking. Well, I asked to be put through to Monique Prescott, who's dealing with me. Today I have been assaulted mentally and physically by the landlady. I wait to speak to Monique to tell her all the nasty details, but I've reported it to 101. Not that that's, of any help, but I'm dealing with a very, very nasty, dangerous. I feel unsafe in the property, to be honest with you. So she, yeah.
Can I start by taking your name?
Yes, sure, thank you. It's Bryony McCarthy. Yes, yeah. This is a woman who's they've been making up stories with the Milestone Group. I've never known so much. Well, she actually said to me, "Well, sue me," telling me to shut up. And it's a shame that I wasn't recording any of what just happened, but she's already tried to illegally evict me last Monday. I feel unsafe. The council are... Monique, I'm only here because...
I can hear how difficult it is for you.
Yeah.
You're saying you feel unsafe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you through housing prevention now, because it's something that they need to be dealing with. So if you bear with me, I'm
Thank
going to
you.
go you through.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Jan, someone called Jan is putting me through to housing prevention.
We are sorry to keep you waiting whilst we are busy assisting other callers. Many inquiries can be answered by visiting our website at lewis-hyphen-sport.
Hello, sorry, the phone line is really, really bad. Is this housing prevention?
No. Can I take your name, please?
Yeah, sure. Could I ask which department? Someone called. Sorry. Sorry, it's a really bad line. Someone called Jan said she'd put me through to house. Was it housing prevention?
Okay.
Eastbourne. I'm trying to get through to Monique Prescott, you see, because she, yeah.
Okay, can I take your surname, please?
Thank you. It's McCarthy. It's I don't have the let me just see if I did have an envelope with the yeah, it's okay, thank you. Waiting to be put through to the prevention team. I just had to give some details. This is horrible. It's horrible, isn't it?
We're sorry to keep you waiting whilst we are busy assisting other callers. Many inquiries can be answered by visiting our website at lewis-eastbourne.gov.uk. Alternatively, please continue to hold and your call will be answered by the next available advisor.
I did actually try to ring Darren, the property manager, and actually, isn't it funny? He's blocked my number after I sent Victoria a text message last night saying I would like to let you and Darren know a few things. And I wanted evidence from Darren, the property manager, that he put that radiator in my room and fixed the hot water. But I can't do that now because apparently he's had a mental breakdown because of me. Yeah, this is what we're dealing with. Yeah, one hell of a bent landlady. Eyes are the window of the soul. I'm just wondering what stories she might come up with. I'm coming up with them like myself now because I've never known so much pathetic. Will she say, oh, she's a Jehovah's Witness and she's been going round upsetting people? Would it be something like that? Am I right? Am I right, Victoria? Is that the sort of thing you come... I mean, there's me keeping myself to myself, tiptoeing around the house like a church mouse. And all the while, there's all this... I find it very amusing, actually, because I realise now just how sane I am. And, you know, it's really interesting. That's why I'm still here. I think this is what survivors do. I'm just going to put this on hold while this is... In fact, actually, I might just put this on pause and then look to see if Monique has emailed me. Right, I'll read the email that Monique sent me back in April. Hi Bryony, I'm travelling in April. I'm really looking forward to it. Yes, I was actually being sarcastic. With regard to your rent, have you applied for the housing element of universal credit? I thought Zoe from BHT was going to help you with this. So did I. But she sent me an email saying that she's closed my case. I might just read that email while I'm waiting. I've asked for someone from our well-being team to contact you to discuss. No one from a well-being team has contacted me. It would be on YouTube. I have advised them to send you an email in the first instance introducing themselves and asking for a contact number. That was on the 15th of February. Have I got an email from... This is the email I received from Zoe King, who asked me questions on the form about my sexual preferences and saying that I have a criminal conviction for the police assaulting me on our world-famous suicide spot as a response to my father's death when I was in supported accommodation. You can have a look on my Facebook wall. You will see the bruises there. This was my response on the 12th of February. So that's, 2 days before Monique's email. On the 12th of February saying, Dear Bryony, I would like to confirm that your case with East Sussex Floating Support Service has now been closed, even though she opened it. And I spoke to her at the Marine Parade Hotel before I came here. I got locked out of this room in all my stress because my things were still at the Marine Parade Hotel and I had to come back. I had stuff there and stuff here because I was self-funding because of this corrupt council. Because don't forget, my claim with the legal ombudsman is because the council took my emergency accommodation. Just wait till I let Jamie and Jackie, the proprietors of the emergency accommodation in New Haven, know what is going on here, because they want me to take my things because the council say it's a health and safety hazard having my possessions there. But I'm only here because they took my roof over my head. And the legal aid law firm, which I never mentioned, Jemima, so get that right, say I'm housed. So they don't need to help me because they also closed my case because I'm a vulnerable customer champion at the legal ombudsman now. So she's saying, Dear Bryony, I would like to confirm that your case with East Sussex Floating Support Service has now been closed. I am sorry that we've been unable to help you at this present time. If in the future you feel that our service can benefit you by providing you with some short-term housing-related support... Yes, it is demented, isn't it? Please do not hesitate to contact us. It's demented. Do these people read what they're writing before they even put it in an email? I could just make a silly noise and talk gobbledygook and it would make more sense. My partner read me this email and he said, you want to hear this, Bryony? So this is what these people are doing to me. So as you've just heard, Monique Prescott is saying, oh yes, I'm going to enjoy my holiday in April, but I thought Zoe was meant to help you set up housing benefits. And this landlady, because of you, is saying, well, there's no excuse for her criminal behaviour. Today she's physically assaulted me. She's tried to illegally evict me last Monday. And she and the maintenance man, Darren, had a mental breakdown, even though collectively they breached my rights under the Equality Act. Are you taking notes, Victoria? I think your son should. Your son doesn't seem... I don't want to be rude, but... FA, is that the word? I just want to check what word I'm using because I don't know. FA. Is there such a word? FA. OFA. OFA? Is it OFA? No. Oh gosh, no. No. That's not the right word. Sorry, that's oh no, the French word, au fait. Are you au fait with the rules of the game? No, that's the word. Au fait is the word I meant. I don't think her son is, and I'm trying to be polite about this. Let's just put it this way, her son, Victoria's son, looks like an extremely vulnerable person himself. And that's why he looked very distressed. He looks like someone who is, under the thumb, like this property manager. She's demented. She's absolutely deluded. I think she wants to believe whatever's in her head and whatever comes out of the mouth of this dirty old man. And I'm appalled. I'm sickened. And I just said to him, I feel sorry for you that she's your mother. But he doesn't care. He doesn't care at all. Even if you were someone who had a learning difficulty or trouble understanding things, there is absolutely no reason to abide by bullying and illegal activity thrown in with it. No. Because there's a reason why I'm on severe disability. So it's interesting that Victoria said to me, I didn't want to speak to this. Isn't it ironic that I did not want to speak to this woman when she first rang me? What can I do for you? I'm so sorry. And I thanked her for fixing the heating and the hot water. But I didn't want to tell her anything about myself because I've been exploited by landlords and landladies before. But she was going to help me write a book. She was going to help me to help others. Performance, Oh, gosh. You just don't know. You really don't know what people are capable of. You really don't know. It's a warning to everyone. We've all got to look out for each other. I'm going to pause this now. So I'm glad I read you that email because I don't have the energy. I'm right now I'm running on adrenaline. I haven't eaten. I'm dehydrated. I'm distressed. I'm scared. I'm frightened. I am frightened. But I'm standing up for myself. That's the difference. So I'm just going to put this on pause because I could be waiting for another 50 minutes and the phone might cut out.
Good afternoon, Monique speaking. Can I help you?
Oh, Monique. Yes, it's Bryony speaking. Thank goodness I...
Hello, my lovely. I'm sorry I didn't get back to you first thing. I just wanted to check something with someone and they weren't around. But I've just got a message to say that you've had a problem with your landlady. Is that right?
Oh, it's more than just a problem. She physically assaulted me and mentally. I think the mental part was worse. Wow, is all I can say. So she's come over from Malta, which I didn't realise she was coming over here. I only just read her email that she sent on Friday saying she was coming over here, so I didn't get that. Now I overheard on the land. I'm glad I did as well. that I overheard her speaking to that vile troublemaker, talking about me, and I'm glad I did. Because obviously when it's nothing to do with you, you don't want to sort of... but I thought that sounds like... well, actually, I thought it was... First, I thought it was Jackie, the proprietor of the emergency accommodation in New Haven, and then I thought, well, who is this? Is someone from the council come out or something? Because she was talking about me, and the Section 8. I didn't recognise Victoria's voice at first, and I thought, why is this woman talking about me? And she said, if you can get evidence of her causing a nuisance and all of this. And I thought, take a deep breath. Don't go, don't sort of... So I went downstairs. They went into the lounge with that vile, dirty old man, that troublemaker. And I thought, well, just be careful. Just approach this, just be normal about it, even though it's abnormal. And when they opened the lounge door, I said, hello, I couldn't help noticing that I was being referred to. And the woman came out, and it was Victoria. Oh, I recognise you. Yes, Bryony, yes, I recognise you from your... They know about my YouTube channel because of Milestone Group forwarding it to them. Fair enough. Well, they told me that later. I just think I'm just usually I either have too much to say or nothing. I'm both sort of stunned, and I mean, when I held my own, I laughed at the absurdity of... Oh, she came out with everything. She was telling me to shut up again. She was accusing me of calling her a cow. Maybe she's had other people say it to her. I said, no, I don't name call. I said, you are vindictive and calculating. Her son looked visibly distressed. He looked like he was going to cry. He doesn't seem to be, and I'm not being rude, he seems I'm going to have to say, he seems a little on the simple side. He's not very au fait. You're upsetting me. You're upsetting me. I don't know how old he is, but I maybe he's about my age. She's 85. She's like a bull in a china shop. She doesn't look 85. I mean, my late mother would be 86, and she didn't look 86. But
so that's Victoria, who's the landlady,
yeah? Yeah, she seems as much. Yeah. She hung up. Now, I said to her very politely. I mean, I was so calm under the circumstances, and I said, you hung up on me and my partner when he said, you told me to shut up. I didn't hang up on you. I said, okay, fair enough. Sometimes the phone cuts out my end, and and it can seem, you never know. But
when did that incident happen?
This has happened today. She was saying to me, sue me, when I was repeating everything back to her about how she and Darren had infringed, the property manager, how collectively she and this troublemaker who's talking to him, she's talking to him about my private business. Just because he's a 79-year-old man, you politely ask. Their behaviour has been demented. This is someone who because it's like dealing with little children who've got nothing better to do. Because she fixed the heating when I moved in here. I'd been here for 5 weeks. You got me a deposit. You got me the deposit. You got me the months. Yeah. I'd literally just been here 5 weeks when it all started turning nasty. He was making up stories. I had asked very politely. I said, it was -3 degrees. I was shivering in bed with a dressing gown on. She got the property manager to put a new radiator in. There are problems with things breaking in the house. She fixed the hot water. I thanked her for fixing those things. But when you've got a landlady who's all, I'm so sorry, let me know if you have any more problems. And then they change and then say that you broke their washing machine, which is second-hand, that was already old. And why? And saying I damaged it because I ran it empty, which is what I sent her online articles that say you should run your washing machine empty every now and again to prolong its life. And I sent her a photograph of Dr. Beckham washing machine cleaner. I haven't even sent her a picture of the next washing machine that she bought. Had not been cleaned out, and it had a bit of mould inside it, and it actually left some dirt marks on my clothes. So for her to send a text message saying I damaged it by running it empty, because this troublemaker who one day, this is after she's fixed the hot water and the heating, one day he's just sitting there like a little boy. He's a 79-year-old man, and he says, do you know what? I've had enough. The back door was open. The front door's been left open. The fridge door was open. And there's just me, him, and Dion in the house. And I say, sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. I obsessively check that the back door is locked. I'm OCD, which he even mocked. Oh, I'm going to tell Victoria about this. And I said, what are you on about? Oh, I'm so sorry. It's just that I lost my daughter. And he takes my hand and kisses it. I then tell Victoria about this, and she's like, oh, well, in my opinion, I've always known him to be a gentleman. And I said to the property manager, you can't sweeten me up with a donut, apologise, and then go on to accuse me of breaking. I said, that's actually quite a serious allegation to accuse me of damaging a washing machine when I've just merely cleaned it. And you've all admitted that it was already faulty. This is just total and utter pointing. Well, I put on my YouTube channel that Remy, that silly little girl that is apparently a managing director, laughing down the phone at me with her colleagues because I'm phoning her, and yet it says in the window we only take phone calls, we're not taking face-to-face appointments. She doesn't know the law. She's mocking Shelter, and my partner's letting agent said if she attempts to change the locks, she will be breaking the law. I warned her politely in a text, and she went ahead, and last Monday, an ex-police officer who made me feel unsafe because he wanted to come in my room. I have already been assaulted and beaten by the police several times, and I've been the victim of serious crimes by this council. There's evidence of me being attacked by licensees on my YouTube channel. Blood on my door, nothing being done. I'm still trying to I want to make a civil claim against the council separate to this. I've now... The only reason why I'm here is because I had my emergency accommodation taken from me in New Haven, and Jackie and Jamie, the proprietors, is telling me that they've had health and safety round to the property in New Haven saying I've got to take my things. The legal aid law firm is saying, the council is saying I'm housed. So this is going to be rather interesting, really, isn't it? Because this is never ending gang stalking and bullying. And she just literally said to me about 2 or 3 hours ago she was here, She's saying to me, sue me then. And she assaulted me when I was trying to speak to her son. She said, close that door. I said, no, I won't. I'm speaking to your son. Close it, or I will turn the heating off. She's demented. I wish I could have recorded this, but as another call handler said, you're not prepared for it. I said, well, I don't have an iPhone. So she pushed me. She didn't hurt me or anything, but she put her hand on me. I said, can you move your hand? You've just assaulted me. I said, you're the landlady. I'm a tenant. You're not paying for this though. It's so utterly. She said that Darren, the property manager, left because of me, had a breakdown. Really? We're talking about a so-called maintenance man who says I broke a washing machine by prolonging its life by cleaning it. I fixed my partner's friend's washing machine by cleaning out the filter and the mould. So this is coming from a maintenance. Now I can't get hold of Darren now because his number is, I don't know, because I responded to Victoria's voice message last night saying I'm not well, I'm iller than ever before. I've said to her, I'm feeling.
What was her voice message? Sorry, lovely.
She said, in the voice message, she said, we need to sort this out. Yes, we do. So I thought, because I said, look, I texted to say I'm so angry right now. I want to send you and Darren text message, the property manager, but I'm so angry. But I said, I'm going to speak to this woman, referring to yourself, at the council to do with my housing benefit. Now, I overheard her say, she's just a bully, basically. She's just a vile, nasty piece of work. I honestly, it's been a long time. She doesn't come across as an 85-year-old. She's quite, oh, God. She seems, oh, God.
I'll come back to you in a sec, Lisa.
Sorry.
Has she served any notices on you or not?
No, she didn't even serve me in official Section 8. I've just, Darren, my partner, not Darren the maintenance man. There are two Darrens. There's my partner Darren and the maintenance, because she hung up on me and my partner when I said, tell her that you've cleaned up after him, his urine and, oh God, he doesn't even, anyway, no, I've got to be careful what I say.
Just one, you know the 79-year-old, the one you call the troublemaker?
Yes.
What's his name?
His name is Terry. This is someone who kissed my hand and said I'm a lovely lady, and I was repeating this back to all of them, and her son looked distressed because he didn't like hearing the truth about his mother, and I said, look, I can see you've got a conscience. I can see it in your eyes. Tell me this has not happened to someone else and I will laugh. You're upset. You're causing me distress. I said, look, I said, I haven't found out how my father died 2 years ago, and she's calling paramedics because she's making me feel it. I've got to go to Barwell's to find out how my father died. And this man told me he's lost a daughter recently, and then he behaves like this. You think this is normal to do this to a vulnerable person at their time of life? Victoria told me she lost a niece to suicide. And it was connected to having a I don't want to be personal, but it's gotten to that stage now, to do with having a what do you call it, when a baby is stillborn. I can't think of the word. I've gone blank. She had more than one miscarriage, and she said to me how she'd had a horrific experience with the social services. She'd helped me to write a book. Now, this is why I did not want to speak to this landlady, because in the first instance I hadn't met her, I don't know her, I didn't want to be exploited again But that is exactly what she has done. And I said to her, my mouth was getting dry at this point. This is what has happened with the police thugs. My mouth was getting dry because I was being antagonized, and I said, and I was just telling her what she doesn't want to hear. I said, you and Darren, the property manager, have breached my rights under the Equality Act, according to Shelter, because I made a complaint. It's victimisation. I think it's section 17. Oh, well, sue me then. And she's laughing about it. I mean, well, what can you say? What can you say?
I'm just trying to get this straight. Sorry, my lovely. I'm just trying to get this straight in my head. So, you moved in and everything was fine for 5 weeks, yeah?
Well, yes, as I said, I made a complaint about the heating and the hot water, which she fixed.
But she fixed
and
it.
I thanked her. But then.
Absolutely. No, I'm not saying any of this is your fault.
No.
That's not what this is about. It's just so I've got a timeline in my head.
Yeah.
So that I know what I'm putting down, alright?
Yeah.
So you moved in. Obviously you had the problem with the radiator. She fixed that and you thanked her, which is great. And then Terry, who's the troublemaker, was he a troublemaker? To start off with, he was okay.
Well, he was being very peculiar. He was pointing things out, like I cleaned out the mould in the old fridge and I labelled it room 1, room 2. I sent her photographs of what I'd done. You know, and she said, thank you for doing that for me. Because the old fridge was covered in mould from top to bottom, so I gave it a deep clean and I labelled it. He was the one doing all the moaning, but there's no room 5, and I was like, but Darren, the property manager, and his father said that room 5 was going to be a utility room. This is an insecure individual who's been. He even said to me that he giggled to me one time, and I thought it was all banter. He said, "I like winding up Darren." He. And I thought it was all, just what men can be like, banter. Oh, he come out with things. Oh, Bryony's gonna. If I get this right, Bryony's gonna do a dance. She's gonna wave her knickers on the table and do a dance on the table, and and I'm sitting there with them, sort of just like, yeah, whatever. I'm used to hearing this sort of thing. But then I overheard a conversation that I wasn't meant to hear because Darren, the property manager, thought that I'd been out all day. I hadn't, because I'm not sleeping at night, but I woke up to hear a conversation I wasn't meant to hear. And I couldn't help, you know how it is, you put your ear against the door. Call it eavesdropping or overhearing, take your pick. Bit of both. And I overheard him say to Terry, the old man troublemaker, say to Darren, oh this and oh that, and the lady that when I moved in, the lady in room 2, Ellie, was already moving out. Because this is something that this landlady has blamed on me. Oh, Dion's moving out because of you. And I was like, that lady in room 2, Ellie, was already moving out because, and Dion says she's not moving out because of me, and that she's emailed Victoria to say that she doesn't have a problem with me. So I need to speak to Dion later. It's because this is serious now. So getting back to me overhearing what Terry said to the maintenance man, I heard him say, oh, she's another one, talking about Ellie, she's another one that moans about there being no hot water. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is a red flag. we've got a troublemaker in the house. Do. But he, even when I cleaned out the fridge and labelled it room 1, room 2, room 3, and because I took photographs. I'm so glad I did take photographs, because I thought I was being petty taking photographs of what I'd done. No, in this day and age, this is why you've got to take photographs of everything and record everything, because you can't trust people at a basic level. I mean, even Darren's father saw what I was doing. He said, well, you're doing a good job. I said, oh, yeah, well, thanks. You know, I'm not looking for brownie points. But after I'd done it, Mr. Troublemaker comes along. Oh, I've told Darren about those wine bottles on the top shelf. Dion, they might come crashing down, and Dion shouldn't be doing that. And I didn't say anything. Oh, but there's no room 5. You haven't labelled room 5. He was the one doing the moaning. I said, but there isn't going to be a room 5. Room 5 is going to be a main. Darren's father said to me, how would you feel about having a bath in there? Because I like having a bath. And so anyway, so this is what he's like. But I also need to let you know, because this is important. I never complained. I never said anything to anyone about the fact that I self-funded the Best Western Hotel for 5 nights, because some of the hotels don't want me there because, well, I've spent thousands of pounds on them because of this council, but and they don't like people complaining. But one of the good hotels that's still got a good reputation, I went there for 5 nights, because for 5 days the bathroom was going to be out of action back in January, so this was not too long after I'd moved in. And I didn't realise that behind the scenes of all this banter was this troublemaker, because he was asking me questions. How much does it cost to go into that hotel? And you know, I'm just me. I am brutally honest. I just like telling him, you know, the way you do. You just. No, I never actually complained. Victoria sent me a text message saying, do you like the new shower room? Is it to your liking? I said, yeah, it's all right. Yes, thank you very much. But I already realised something was not quite right. Because, as I said, this weird behaviour from him, because this kind of gaslighting is so dangerous that it's made me think, as with everything else that has happened with Eastbourne Borough Council and the social services, it's made me think that my partner is behind it. And he testified on my behalf to Victoria, but she hung up on both of us. It's just crazy.
Sorry, my lovely. It's only so I've got it clear, all right? I know you've told me.
I know.
Just so I've got it clear. So, you had a problem with the water. That was the radiator. That was sorted.
Yeah.
You overheard it. I don't think it's eavesdropping if he's talking about you, but anyway, never mind. And he was saying to Darren that there's another one that doesn't like it, that moans about not having hot water.
Yes, that's correct. And she seemed quite nervous, I have to say. Me and Darren said that. She seemed...
Yeah, Darren said that's Terry, or the other way round.
No, sorry. I know it's confusing. Me and my partner, my Darren, noticed how very nervous that lady was in room 2. And it seems to be, and from what I've just overheard from being, I'm glad I've observed this, because I saw Terry, there seems to be something weird going on between Terry and the landlady, because he seems to be I don't know if it's like some weird sort of taking charge of the whole, what's the word, territorial, whatever the word is, Because he's saying she's, you know, they're sort of in, even Dion said it, they're in cahoots, and he said I will pass on what's her name, Ellie in room 2, the nervous lady who was moving out before I moved in. Because this is how dangerous these people are. She's blamed me. She's blamed Darren the maintenance man's mental breakdown, a nervous breakdown, on me. No, I said, obviously, he's under your thumb. I have to say, I mean, I've got to be... Anyway, so... Terry was saying to her, I will pass on, something to do with I will pass on. I've got her address, the girl in room 2. They would take, because while she was here, she was taking stuff out of her room. I will pass things on to her. So he seems to be taking charge of taking orders from Victoria. Now Victoria is, as I said, she's proven herself to be a barefaced, manipulative, vindictive liar. Dion said to me she's not moving out, let alone not moving out because of me, and that even last night she said, I took photographs, I saw brown stuff in the sink, and I'm going to email Victoria. Now, I can't be 100% sure, obviously, because I don't know Dion, of what she's like as a person, whether she can be trusted. But I'm telling you, she said she had a problem with... She said to me, her words were, when I said how... I said that he... When he was winding me up and he said, I hate Dion, I said, isn't that a strong word, to hate another tenant? To use the word hate. And Dion said to me, he's a creep. No, he's a creep. I've told Victoria, you know, and I have nothing to do with him. And I said, thank you for letting me know. This is when this was all kicking off. And it's just, you know, as I said, thankfully Victoria has let me know. I've thanked her for letting me know that she's a dangerous, manipulative person, because she said to me, when she called the paramedics before she tried to change the locks, and I said to Darren, put her on loudspeaker. So we had my phone, and she was like, oh, Darren, to my partner, thank goodness we've saved Bryony we've stopped her from doing anything. She's a very hateful person, isn't she? And I was shaking. No, that was a couple of weeks ago. Twice she has called paramedics out, and I said to her, I said,
why did she call the paramedics, lovely?
Because she was, I said to her, you've caused me so much distress. I'm already feeling suicidal. So, you know, she's exacerbating what was already there. And she calls the paramedics. And then after my partner turns up, paramedics leave. They use the same socially engineered phrases, and, you know, we're going around in circles. Heard it all before. And I said, look, you know, let's not waste each other's time. Bye-bye, you know. Then after the paramedics have turned up, she then, thankfully, because I put her on loudspeaker, she's saying to Darren, my partner, as I said, I'll repeat it, oh, thank goodness we got here in time. You know, she's playing the saviour, so she's orchestrated this. And just to save face, she's now saying, oh, we've saved poor Bryony. She's a very hateful person, isn't it sad? And she didn't realise, don't think she realised I had her on loudspeaker. And I said, Victoria, I don't hate you. I said my piece. And she was obviously... She obviously thought she had a doormat, because she, as I said, she told me to shut up.
That's when she told you to shut up.
She did it today. She was telling me to shut up, and...
That's where I'm getting... So I've got to...
This is what you're dealing with.
So before she'd called the paramedics, what was the... So I can see there was a problem with Darren, and
See, this is where it gets a little bit hazy now, because this is the amount of stress this person has caused. Because this was leading up to all of this. She hadn't at that point served me a bogus fake Section 8 at that point. This was a couple of weeks ago. But it was, I can't, do you know, because obviously this is after the washing machine gate thing.
That was in that time. The washing machine was in there.
Yeah. Yeah, this is after she sent me other weird text messages though, like, can you take your stuff out of room 5 and clean it, please? And I had temporarily put some bags in there, but the house is dirty anyway. There's dust and dirt everywhere in the lounge anyway. And I said it was, at that point I was trying to be, you know, because I wasn't sure about what this woman was like, and I said I'm a bit perplexed because she had told me to sleep in room 5 if I was freezing cold. That was before she fixed the heating, and I never stayed in room 5. I just put bags in there. So I didn't appreciate already the text messages that I was receiving when I clean up after other people, and she's asking me to clean a whole room, because when I moved into this room, even the drawers hadn't been cleaned out here, and that's nothing to do with my OCD. They were filthy. There were seeds and food bits in the drawers. So the tenancy, the room had not even been cleaned as far as the drawers are concerned before I moved in, but I never complained about it. In the same way I didn't complain, because Darren, my partner, said to me, when I self-funded a hotel for 5 nights because the shower room was out of use, he said, really, they should be paying for this. I said, well, yeah, I don't know. But I never complained. And I said thank you for when she did fix those things. But when she and the maintenance man breached my rights under the Equality Act of victimisation, I had a look on the Shelter website, and it's to do with if one tenant makes a complaint, one or more tenants make a complaint, and the complainer is, in the same way that what this evil council has done to me, like when I complained about bedbugs crawling on me, or what the other evil landlady did to me, that ex-head teacher, the one who, because of her, I'm now paying storage for other people's unsanitary waste, an incontinence pad, a hospital towel. Yeah, this is how you get treated as a vulnerable woman who worked hard as a carer, and now I've got a landlady who used to be a matron doing this to me. I've been made physically sick by a... Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but my emotions are coming to the surface.
Just bear with me, all right? So, a couple of weeks ago, she served you said it's a bogus fake Section 8, is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Yes, I've got the email. If I could actually bring it up.
So why did you say it was bogus, my love?
Because it needs to be, as Shelter and a tenants association say, it needs to be a special Form 3. Nothing has been done officially. It needs to be, it's on the government website. This has all been totally and utterly underhand. And the fact that an ex-police officer tried to commit a crime against me last Monday, I am feeling... Look, the notice here that I am holding is the Eviction Act 1977. That ex-police officer turned locksmith, it says what this crime, the potential penalties include an unlimited fine, a custodial prison sentence of up to 2 years, civil action, and unlimited damages. I politely warned Victoria in a text message that if she went ahead and did this, she would be committing a crime. My partner's letting agent have said this as well, and Shelter say it. Milestone Group, who got me in here as a tenant find, have laughed down the phone at me. They've made themselves look very silly. The managing director laughing down the phone at me. They don't know the law. They threatened to call that. Wait for it. It's all on YouTube. They threatened to call the police because I rang them up to report a crime against me. Oh, but you're not our client. Well, either I am or I'm not, because they are slandering me. Oh, you go round upsetting people. You do this, you do that. My then subsequent phone call to 101, where I reported this attempted illegal eviction, the call handler, before she terminates the call, is telling me to speak to the supervisor. And because she terminates the call and doesn't let me finish speaking, I then speak to another call handler. And I have to explain to him that it wasn't a supervisor, it was their superior, the managing director, and they found it funny. And the fact that they were threatening to call the police just for me merely calling them is not a crime, because the call handler that I then spoke to said to me, well, it's not a crime for them to laugh down the phone at you. No, in the same way, it's not a crime for me to phone up the Milestone Group. This is so petty.
No. So, go back a bit, lovely.
Yes.
So, 2 weeks ago they served you the Section 8, yeah?
But not an official.
The document. Let's call it a document.
No,
yeah?
she did not. She did not do it officially with a Form 3 on the government web. She did not officially send an official Section 8. It's got to be a Form 3. It's on the government website. Yes.
It has to use the same wording as that. So, have you still got that document?
Well, I've got the email she sent me. She didn't even spell my surname properly. It's got to be a Form 3.
Can you forward that email to us?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can do that.
So that's fine. That
sorry.
was 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Called the police on you last week.
Actually, no, it was the tenant who called the police along with the locksmith, ex-police officer. So he's probably calling his buddies. And it's on YouTube. Well, not the whole sort of, just me speaking to. I've only got a laptop. I haven't got a smartphone, but I let them know what had happened, and they left. But this troublemaker, he's just causing me more distress and harassment and alarm. And I'm already in a suicidal state. So if they call paramedics, it's, they're stupid. They call paramedics, and he tells this troublemaker, wait for it, he told them he feels unsafe with me, even though I'm the one who's feeling unsafe because they just committed a crime against me. And I haven't found out how my father died. I've washed my hands of the social services because, as the landlady said, they're full of bollocks, and they are. So that's why I don't want to speak to Daphne and all these people. I've had enough. Monique. I've had enough. I have had enough.
All right, sweetheart.
Yeah, sorry, but I had to, get that out. Yes.
Now, so you're still not, I'll go back to the benefits now. You're still not in receipt of the universal credit or benefits, is that right?
That's correct, yes. And I've got the email from Zoe King saying that she closed my case. I've also got the email. I've got the email from you saying she should have helped me.
Do you ever get in touch with the social worker? I know some people came this morning, it's like that. Anyway, never mind. So the social worker, I'm emailing the social worker.
Yes, thank you. But I have to. Yeah, sorry. No, it's okay. Sorry.
I was going to say, so you're still at the property, aren't you?
I am, but I'm my body physically and mentally cannot take anymore. Not physically or mentally. I feel very, very weak. And if you had seen this landlady, you wouldn't believe she was 85. She sounds 20 years younger, but she is very just oof. Well, she had no problem in pushing me, and I said, "You've just assaulted me," and I'm close to collapsing from all this. I'm so sickened and disgusted by all of this. I really am. I'd only been here a few weeks, and I can't relax for just 5 minutes without someone trying to cause trouble, bullying, and demented behaviour. I've had enough.
Do you think if we sorted out the financial side, it will take the pressure off?
Well, yes, because obviously, this landlady wants her rent money, obviously, but it's not my fault that these people open and close. Look, don't bother with social services. They're part of this. Daphne and Zoe King. When I was in the Marine Parade Hotel, I had stuff in there. The distress and the stress got me locked out of my room because was locked out of my room because of the stress. I'd literally just been given the keys to this place, and Callum, isn't it funny that Darren, the property manager, described Callum as a word I can't repeat, a very rude word, in front of me and Mr. Troublemaker, saying the Milestone Group are rubbish. Well, even Dion said that. And yet Remy is saying down the phone, we don't know of a Darren. So there's a lot of very, very I mean, I know what Eastbourne is like at the best of times, or shall I say the worst, but this is totally and utterly demented. I have had enough of dealing with idiots and crimes against humanity. I've just had enough of it. I had a campaigner up in London. Well, he's not from London. He's part of a campaign is to do with this corruption. He was talking me out of suicide, saying, well, the landlady, she doesn't sound like a very nice person. And I was so distressed. I haven't got this man's phone number, but I started ringing him just after this ex-police officer. He wanted to come in my room. You are aware that PC Wayne Cousins raped and murdered. I thought it happened in Hastings. It didn't. It happened in London. An ex-police officer raped and murdered a woman. Now, I have been beaten by the police so badly in A&E, physical and verbal abuse, not too dissimilar to this, but ramped up a lot more. And I have been a victim of, attempted rape. It's a form of rape. It was enough to put someone in prison and on a sex offenders register. And I have to say, in comparison to what the police have done to me, no one in my entire life has ever done to me what these dangerous thugs have done. I am not safe with anyone. I am not safe. If the hospital and social services and the whole damn criminal cartel can normalise all of this, I am not safe with anyone at all. I've just seen a video online about a man, a 74-year-old man who had his farm stolen by Runnymede Council in Surrey, and it involves councillors, criminal judges, property developers, all in it. And he was housing homeless families who were born on his farm, and the council put him in that position. I am a vulnerable woman who cannot trust anyone, Monique. No one at all. And I am just...
But
Sorry. Yeah.
No, it's all right. I just hate the fact that you're so, and I understand why you're upset.
No, it's
Horrible. But we need to try and, well, we certainly need to get the financial side sorted out, all right?
yes.
Because things
Yeah.
are only going to get worse if we don't get the financial side sorted out.
Yes.
So I do need to get in touch with the social worker. I'm sorry. Even if she comes back to you and me and says she can't help, I've got to do it. I've got to reach out to everyone I can for them to come back and say no. I know it sounds awful,
But I've had enough of their endless lies, Monique. I've recorded Lauren Bernard and Sue Wagstaff from St Mary's House falsely offering me a one-bedroom flat in a shared council accommodation where I was attacked by criminal licensees, blood on the door, police doing nothing. It's on YouTube. And yet the police and the council were targeting me. It was like a form of gang stalking. A sergeant told me to record antisocial behaviour. I did. Then I was arrested for doing it. I was threatened with staying away. I was threatened by the council. A council worker came out to threaten me to stay away from the Riverbourne house where I recorded elderly residents supporting me. You tell me when a Sergeant Simmons tells you to purchase a dictaphone to record antisocial behaviour and then they arrest you for doing it. And then they think, well, what else can we do? What else can we do to destroy this woman? I know. We will use her being suicidal on Beachy Head to slander her in the Eastbourne Herald, which I nearly came close to suing for libel. But you want to go along with what your colleagues say because I recorded your colleagues. I don't know, I can't remember if you did it, but one of your colleagues, Stella, who passed me to you last time, before I got into this property, she hung up on me. All these people that have hung up on me, and you want to believe. I mean, if you believe if you believe what the Herald said about me, you will believe anything. I beat the police. Sorry. Yes, I do. I do.
We have been told that we don't have to, if we don't want to, we don't have that conversation if we don't want to be on YouTube. So somebody should explain to you and say, no. No disrespect to you, I watch your YouTube channel, so I don't know what's on there. I don't watch YouTube at all, it's something personal. But
no, it's okay.
You want to record it, record it. You don't want to record it, don't record it.
That's fine.
What you do with it is entirely up to you. That's why I will talk to you, because I don't mind. I don't mind whether it's recorded or not.
Can I just say... Yeah, but can I just tell you? No, can I just interrupt? So I'm sorry to interrupt. I am a technophobe, which is why I don't have a smartphone. I wouldn't want one anyway because of the dangers of these technology. But it's a miracle that I managed to set up a YouTube channel because I'm a technophobe. I don't understand. Oh, yeah, well, yeah, no, thank you. But that, I couldn't even manage a dictaphone, let alone anything else. So only just because my partner showed me how to use the dictaphone. I am a total technophobe, but I set it up in sheer desperation. One of my assailants was mentioned in the national news as mugging the elderly. Now, when I was recording your employees, I appreciate what you've just said to me, but now, obviously, there has been, instead of actually helping me, these members of the council deliberately, like Councillor Stephen Holt. Now, let me tell you something. His face was on a photograph, on a leaflet in the property where I was attacked by actual convicted criminals. He took over from Alan Shuttleworth. Oh yes, David Tutt, these high up people at the council. 7 years ago, before the council and police started targeting me, I went to the Eastbourne People's Assembly to say how the social services had not supported me and actually exploited me when my mother was dying of cancer, because I had exactly the same problems that I'm having here that I had in supported accommodation. I had an elderly man harassing me, an old man in his 80s. My mother was 71 and dying of cancer, and she was angry at how she said, but they're meant to be helping you. The social worker landlord told us he'd get a good pension out of this. That's all they care about. And I had to sign a homeless application form. No one helped me with my mother's cancer. The same thing has happened again regarding my father's death. A flat of 4 months, the GP didn't care. 4 hours I spent with a doctor, and all my GP did was text me to say I had spent all that time in my nightwear because the managing director, look, the night porter has only just recently, September of last year, been sacked after 25 years of turning up to work drunk to bully the vulnerable and the disabled because a petition online was ignored by the Trestle Trust Food Bank. They're all in cahoots. Councillor Stephen Holt behaved like a silly little boy. I approached him in Tesco. Oh dear, she approached me. I'm such a danger to the public. You know, these people get paid to stop and correct. They serve us, the constituents, but they're not. They're self-serving. Councillor Robin Maxted, he's one of them. Now, he looked all tearful in my partner's flat a few years ago. I spoke to him in my partner's flat. This is the Liberal Democrats. And I recorded, this is where mouths, there's a lot of infantile, childish gossip in this town, because I got a £15 apology from Greg's the Bakery, because a red-haired old witch started harassing me because I was speaking to an old man, he's not an old man, a vulnerable man who goes around saying Jesus loves you. He's known as the Jesus loves you man, because that's what you know who I'm talking about. I've got to be careful how I but because... And I was talking to them and she started harassing me, and I thought, what the hell is going on here? Because she said to me, oh, you got the help. I said, excuse me, I don't know what you're talking about. Could you just leave me alone? I'm speaking to these men. Well, you started. I said, no, she was mad. She claimed to work for Sussex Partnership in Worthing. Now, let me tell you, Councillor Robin Maxted said to me in my partner's flat in 2019, when I met John Alexander Patterson, who was on a mental health fraud exposing fraud, theft, money laundering and baby organ harvesting on the NHS. Yes, you couldn't make this stuff up. I've met a lot of people by accident, let me tell you. I met him in the psychiatric unit. The police had dragged me in there in April 2019. A housing officer called John Robinson didn't turn up in June. Social services didn't turn up in May of that year. 4 months in there, I recorded my ward review, a damning ward review with doctors and so-called psychiatrists and the ward manageress bullying me, saying they were going to call the police. I was arrested out of there. This is 4 months later, unlawfully arrested out of there, and yet the police were the ones who put me in there. In my I said in the ward review that Councillor Robin Maxted said in my partner's flat, you can't release me with nowhere to go. Yes, we can. No, you can't, Councillor Robin Maxted. We're calling... Right, so they went against a councillor, an Eastbourne Borough councillor's advice, So he's looking all tearful to me and Darren and looking like, oh dear, you know, like I want to. And then he doesn't, when I phone him, and this is on my YouTube channel because it's just as well that I had a back payment of PIP. Otherwise, I would have probably ended up going insane or killing myself. Or I don't know, but I self-funded the Cavendish Hotel for 9 months. Endless phone calls to you lot being terminated, having my calls terminated, and the ombudsman, that local government and social care ombudsman scam. And it's, you know, I just end up adding to the 100% of bad reviews on Trustpilot. And it's a miracle. It is a miracle. Everything that I have survived all these years in the name of just at a basic level, just having a roof over my head, which everyone likes to seem to keep assaulting, beating me and taking from me. I complain about anything, I'm the scapegoat, and I've got so many problems. Do you know something? The council, got Sally Fisher and all that lot who ignored me, who ignored my plight. They got the council to go into my brand new flat. They were literally putting down brand new carpets. The care coordinator who got me in there said I could have the flat as long as I needed it. She was sacked. As I said, the night porter was sacked from SDR Living. You know, you can talk about polishing a turd. That place used to be the notorious Saffron. Nothing has changed. I've got video footage of the managing director locking me out. My gold ring, I had a gold ring in that flat. It's over 100 years old. It's a 21st birthday present from my late mother. It's got my birthstone in it. And it was lying on the side. Men go in there that I haven't met. And the phone's cut out. So let's see if Monique rings me back. Oh. 2.5 hours. Just a second. I need to take a deep breath. No, when I talk about my gold ring though, that was an heirloom. Men went into the council and just took my stuff. So Monique needs to ring me back to sort this out because I've yeah, I just hello?
Hello, lovely. I don't know what happened there.
No, I'm sorry, this does happen. Sometimes it cuts out, sometimes I think it happens on purpose. Yeah, no.
I better phone you back, otherwise you're going to think I put the phone down on you, and I most certainly did.
Oh no, I believe you. Believe me. If it's not people hanging up, it's the phone cutting out. So yeah, it's alright.
Listen, I've got to. I want to get. I need to get the financial side sorted out. All right. So that is my priority at the moment.
Yes.
However, if I get the financial side sorted out, are you going to stay there?
Well, obviously, I don't want to be here now because I thought I'd moved into a nice, quiet house with a nice old man, and boom, no, I haven't. You know, I'm at that point where I just think, well, what do I do?
Stay there for now, all right? Let me get the financial sort. Or let me see what I can do about getting the financial sort. I wish I could just fill in the full myself. Honestly, I really do. It would make life so much easier, but of course it doesn't work that way. So I will see what I can do to get the financial side sorted out.
Sorry, what are the forms called?
We've got to get the financial side sorted out before
Yes, indeed, absolutely. Sorry, what were the forms? What are the forms?
I don't know without you, because I don't know anything about universal credit. So all I need you to do is just apply for the housing element of universal credit.
Right. Yes, I do remember you saying that. I do remember you said to us, Zoe King, for the higher element. I remember you saying that.
So the higher,
This is all still new to me.
If I knew anything about universal credit, I would do it myself with you, seriously, because we're going round and round in circles here. But I don't know anything about it. And the last thing I want to do is make the wrong, answer the wrong thing, do the wrong thing. You know what universal credit is like. So can you find have you got a copy of the tenancy agreement or the license agreement?
No, I saw it. I saw the tenancy agreement somewhere, but I've lost it now. I'm getting so just lost in all of this.
You will need it. So I need to find someone that's going to help you first of all. So just not today. Don't worry about it today. I'm going to send the emails out. I will email the social worker, see what she says. I'll see you in, so that you can see any replies that we get. You will need to have a copy of the tenancy agreement. And what I was thinking is, if when you find it, you let me know, and I can arrange to meet you at the town hall. I don't work in the town hall every day, but I can arrange to meet you at the town hall. Just take a copy of it, and then I've always got it on the system, haven't I? And then it doesn't matter if you misplace or whatever. So I'm going to do the phone call. I'm going to do the email. Sorry, to the social worker first of all, because that's our main priority at the moment. Obviously, your welfare, and then secondary is.
But they don't care. The emergency duty service texts me to say, when I was homeless and suicidal in a hotel, oh, sorry, we can't help you with getting you into a place. And my partner was actually saying, do you know what, Brian? He text him to say, thanks for nothing, and hope someone else does the same for you one day. And I did as my partner said. Not that I do what my partner tells me to do all the time. I'm not. But yeah, no, because I'd had enough. We both had enough of it all. The legal aid law firm and the council have abused my partner and his private tenancy. They just use and abuse. That's all. It's all about scapegoating. It's not about help. So with all due respect, whatever you do with the social services, fair enough, but I'm just telling you my end. I've washed my hands of them. I washed my hands of them a long time ago. They have done nothing but, well, as the landlady said, her words, not mine. They're full of bollocks. I'm sorry to swear to you down the phone, but that was her word, not mine. But actually, that's my favourite rude word. I don't swear to people, but I've had enough of being lied to, crimes against humanity, pushing me to suicide. I've just had enough of it. If people can't even tell the truth, whether they're under the thumb or not, the reason why I now know why I was physically violently sick on my first day of work in a care home was because I realise now, after all these years, I was traumatised from being bullied by staff and a very nasty elderly matron whom even one of the mental health nurses knew who I was talking about. This is in Seaford. Oh yeah, I heard she could be a bitch. I've had enough of being abused. I thought the system was there to help us. I found out the hard way, and I've just washed my hands of it. So, yeah, I'm at that point where I just think, well, what do I do now? What do I what do I do?
You said she came back from Malta. Was that a holiday, or she didn't live there?
No, she lives there. She's English. She's English, but she lives there, and she's sent me. I only just read the email today because I didn't realise she was. I didn't get the email till well after she had assaulted me physically and verbally.
When's she going back? Do you know?
I don't know. No, I don't. But I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe. I don't. I don't know what this woman. If this woman has already shown me what she's capable of, and despite my polite warning for her not to go ahead with this illegal eviction attempt, and she's in. Look, I heard her saying to him, if you can get evidence of her causing a nuisance, she's doing whatever she can to be underhand, and just I'm struggling at a basic level every day just to function. I keep myself to myself but I'm happy talking to Dion. You know, the other tenant. I overheard him refer to her as Cocoa Pop to Darren, the maintenance man. Oh, Cocoa Pop downstairs because she's black. Now, there's no way I'm going to say that to Dion. No way. I wouldn't feel comfortable repeating that. But you know, this is someone who said that they hate Dion. And Dion says he's a creep, but I'm the one. Bryony is the one. She's always the one. She's the troublemaker. Just why? Why am I a troublemaker? Because I've complained about.
Riley, I think they class you as a troublemaker. You stand up for yourself and say what you want to say.
Exactly, I tell the truth and they don't like it. They don't like hearing. Yeah, exactly.
So,
thank you.
It might be easier for you if you didn't, my lovely. You think you'd have a quieter life.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I'd have a quieter life being a doormat. That's exactly what she wanted. She was hoping. She asked me questions about my vulnerability. I realise this now. She wasn't going to help me publish my experiences. She wanted to find out how vulnerable I am to see how if I would just do as she says. Because she was sending me text messages and emails saying, have you moved out yet? Have you found somewhere else? Almost like harassing me. Have you found somewhere else? I am struggling to function. My partner is meant to have gone down to the council today and to Brighton Housing Trust, and I'm saying, why aren't you doing anything? Because he's saying to me, look, Bryony, I'm struggling myself with my mental health. I'm struggling with my sleep. I can't rely on my partner, Darren. That's then making me a bit sort of, paranoid. Because when you're on your own...
I want you to look after yourself. I want you to forward Victoria's email to me, all right, with a notice, all right?
Yes, but it's not, as I said, it's not a Form 3.
That's fine, sweetheart. Just email that to me, all right? I'm going to email. I do want to just double check with one of our mums. What's the best way of proceeding for you? I mean, not with you, that sounds awful, but for you. So, as I said, that's why I didn't do the email this morning. I wanted to do it this morning, but he was in meetings all day. So, I'm going to try and get hold of them now. I will send you the email. I definitely haven't forgotten you, my lovely.
No, it's okay.
I've got a list of things I do, and you're on top of my list. As soon as I get the information I want, the best way to proceed, I'm going to send the email. All I want you to do is send me the email forwarding the notice, and then I just want you to take care of yourself. All right, my lovely?
Thank you. I do the best. Sorry, sometimes I concentrate too hard in it and then it doesn't go in. So to reiterate, you're going to. Oh, sorry.
That's all right, lovely. I'm going to talk to one of my managers because I want to find the best way of proceeding with you, helping you.
Right.
If you like.
Okay.
So I just want to make sure that what I'm doing is the right thing to do.
Okay.
I know we need to get the financial side sorted out.
Thank you.
Going round in circles to get the next cross.
Oh, don't. I have heard the number of times. That's the second time you've used that phrase. Oh my gosh. Don't that phrase. Yes.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. I forgive you. I'll be a rich woman for the number of times the paramedics have said it to me. I've been hung up on. We're going round in circles. We're going round in circles. We're going round in circles.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, it drives you nuts.
I'm actually frustrated because I'm doing that.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
And getting nowhere. So yeah, it is frustrating. I'm not frustrated with you.
No, there've been times where I've thought people have said it to deliberately wind me up, like it's a social engineering thing. Like that, to wind me up, like some sort of weird mind control thing. Like, oh, we're going round in circles and hanging up, and throughout all the insanity. Yeah. Yes.
No,
Sorry. Sorry.
I can assure you it's not about saying that you and me are going round in circles.
No, I understand.
I'm getting frustrated.
Yeah.
Because I'm going round in circles trying to find the best way to help you.
Yes. No, I appreciate that.
Not an issue at all, my darling.
No, I hear you. Thank you.
So I will
Okay.
send you that email as soon as I've got my response. I want to make sure it's sent. And you send me the notice, the front notice, but you send me the notice, and then we'll go from there. All right,
And thank you. If I try and find if I can, the tenancy agreement to email.
That would be really good. That would be really, really good.
Yeah, because it all just got so messy. Someone emailed me her bank details, but then I've lost them in all this mess. I don't know if it was Remy from Milestone, but of course I don't want to have any contact with that horrible individual now.
No, I don't want you to. If you've got it, I would like it. If you haven't, don't stress yourself. All right.
I don't know what I thought she emailed me her bank details, but I don't know what happened. I don't know.
Don't worry. I think it's all a bit too much today.
It is too much. It is. Yes.
So I think just have nothing. I don't need them to stay. I will need them at some stage, but I don't need them to stay. Universal Credit will need them at some stage.
Universal Credit.
But that's not today.
Oh.
Just take that time. Just have a little bit of a rest, my darling. All right.
Yes, thank you. It is overwhelming. Yeah, thank you. Sorry. Yes. Okay. All right. You're going to see me in the email to.
I'm going to CC you in the email to the social worker. I've got to ask the social worker for help because I asked her the other day, so I'm going to ask her how she's getting on with finding help to help you apply the financial element of the universal credit. And I'm going to CC you in so that you know that I've sent the email and you know when we get a response because she'll email both. She'll respond to both of us. All right.
Right. Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, my darling.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome, Spinner. Let's go, love.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thanks for that.
Bye, love.
Thank you. Bye. Bye. I am really overwhelmed. But there we are. That's Monique Prescott at the council. So she's going to speak to her manager to find out what the right thing to do is. But as I said, I've washed my hands of the social services. Oh my gosh, 2 hours, 45 minutes. Anyway, I've had a good vent, but I'm carrying all this. My partner said to take a picture of all the text messages that I've had from. Obviously, I haven't got all the text messages that Victoria sent me, you know, regarding me damaging the washing machine, a false claim, a breach of my rights under the Equality Act. I can't, because I wasn't, you know, so, but I've got it's too much, and I don't have the technology or the health to do it. So there we go. I'll just finish on that note. I've had a text message here though. Hang on a minute, what's this? Right, okay, I'm going to end this now. Okay. Shalom. Shalom, y'all.